emergency room physician. She led the frontline doctors group in Washington, D.C., that widely covered meeting in Washington, which drove the left into their usual mockery. So that's how they refute. That's how they think they refute things. So, Dr. Gold, it's a pleasure to have you on the show.
Hi, thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
So what's happened to you since the Washington conference?
You know, I've been saying for a long time that there is a massive disinformation campaign, and people need to see that the way you do censorship is first you do misinformation, then you do a disinformation campaign, and then you do full-on censorship. So when you've gotten to the point that physicians cannot speak about an FDA-approved medication, then you've gotten yourself full-on into censorship. So that's where we are. We had a very non-controversial summit that was full of all kinds of educational information. We actually had 7 hours of educational teaching where doctors were talking to the American public through social media. In the middle, we had done a press conference. The press conference got the most attention. It got 18 million views in 8 hours. I'm told it was the most viral video of all time. The president tweeted about it. His son tweeted about it. And promptly, the social media big tech companies, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, and and YouTube, all deplatformed or demonetized this, and people could no longer see them. In addition, Squarespace, where I hosted my own website, really illegally just took over my site and canceled it, which is unreal. So I had to very quickly scramble and put up something else. This is very difficult, and also a lot of people were looking for the information and couldn't find it. I know that because I've had hundreds of thousands of people contact me. So we're getting it up. In fact, we have it up now, and people can look at the information themselves. Nobody has to believe me or any of the other doctors. They can read all the information for themselves. And I just want to urge all Americans to care deeply about free speech. It's actually affecting something as basic as your physical health.
Let me just review this for my listeners. The thing that provoked doctors, again, doctors. How many of you were there? How many doctors?
We had about 18 of us there, but there are hundreds, if not thousands of us.
Right. So 18 doctors were at this conference, medical doctors.
May I just interrupt for one moment? I want everyone to know, all these doctors came as volunteers. All the logistical support was volunteer. They're showing up because we really care about the American people.
That's right. So these medical doctors were silenced by big tech, the tech companies. You should know that PragerU can no longer tweet because we tweeted. We are locked out of Twitter. PragerU, to this moment, is locked out of Twitter because Twitter deems us as purveyors of false information regarding COVID, as if they know what is false information, but 18 doctors backed by thousands of other doctors who may or may not be in the minority of doctors today. I have no idea. I don't think anyone has an idea. Be very interesting if we could take a poll of 10,000 random doctors and see if they think that hydroxychloroquine and zinc is completely unhelpful and may even be bad in the first days of a COVID positive person. So that is right. That was the reason that you have been shut down, over hydroxychloroquine.
Yes, so they're saying that we're saying something false. Not only is it not false, it's harming people to say that it's false. So there's been lots and lots of studies over the past several months. Maybe there's been 50 studies. That's a guess. They all show that hydroxychloroquine plus zinc work well in the early stages. And then some of the studies were inconclusive or negative if you gave it late in the disease. But when you read the studies were fatally flawed because they gave too much of the medicine, or they gave it without zinc, or they gave it too late in the disease course to make a difference. So it's very important that people distinguish between early COVID disease and late COVID disease. They're essentially two different diseases. The early is about viral replication. Hydroxychloroquine and zinc work extraordinarily well. From my personal experience, it's a magic bullet. Many doctors say the same thing. Then if you didn't get it and you're in the late disease, it works modestly well. It still helps. But if there's any controversy about the drug, it's in later disease. The reason I said there's any controversy is I would never withhold this drug really from virtually anyone because it's exceedingly safe. It's been given billions of dosages, over 65 years FDA approved, and derived from quinine, which is found in tree bark. This is a completely non-controversial medication.
Exactly. Hold on there if you would. Dr. Simone Gold. I want to find out what happened to her.